Learning the basics of Linux/Unix. I would like to learn the basics of Linux, in contrast to tutorials that teach how to do common tasks with Ubuntu or something. I'm looking for a structured introduction, not a reference. Also, I would like it to be as modern and updated as possible. I'm tired of reading a Linux introduction in a book where I'm constantly reminded that today there are new shells that allow you to see the history of the commands you typed before. Does anyone know of something like that?
You might like the online guide, Introduction to Linux, a hands-on guide, as a good starting point. Importantly, it is a well-structured guide. If this is not for you, have a look at Linux in a nutshell and how Linux works. A working Linux system is typically an installation of a Linux distribution. At some point you're going to have to learn processes and commands that are specific to your distribution. You might as well choose a book or guide that bases its explanations and examples on the distro you're using or likely to use. If you have the time and the inclination, you cannot go wrong with this comprehensive guide, Linux, Router Users Tutorial and Exposition. This guide is a blessing for someone who wants to understand Linux, not someone starting out on desktop Linux.
Here are some links to Linux tutorial sites. To learn more you will need tutorials on the type of Linux you want to use. This might or might not be what you want. This URL. This URL. This URL. Tutorials on Ubuntu. This URL. This URL. This URL. This URL. Please tell me if you would like links to other types of Linux tutorials.
One of my personal favorites is Unix for the Impatient, which is great to understand the essence of Unix. There is much more on top of that, but this is a good starting point.
This isn't quite what you're looking for, but I found the Gentoo installation handbook to be rather informative. It taught me a lot about how a Linux system is put together from a software perspective.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.